Okay guys, hi, I'm Nate. You may know me from such projects as Observatory, and I'm here to present my other project, which is Ease. And one thing I realized is this is kind of an old project. It's been around for a while, and I kind of forgot that a lot of you haven't been around for a while. There's actually a lot of people this semester, so I didn't actually have this much description of the project in here, so that's why I brought up the website so I can show that in a second. But it was Ease. Ease is an application for GNOME. It's a presentation application. Desktop presentation. I made this in Ease. I exported a PDF so that A, it probably wouldn't crash halfway through, and B, we could do the mobile computer thing. It's very inspired by Keynote. Very inspired by Keynote, and I'll bring up website just to show the general interface because I don't actually have a screenshot of that in the program itself. So yeah, this is a general editing interface. You have a list of slides on the side, editing controls. You click here to use them. Some people will find that funny. And then over here you have an inspector to edit your properties based on what you have selected, and toolbar at the top. Pretty basic stuff. Some of the other stuff that people haven't seen before. This is just the theme chooser and a window for sorting, a view for sorting your slides, rearranging them. These are all default things, of course. Okay. It's got nice transitions and stuff like that. You can go on the internet and search for photos from Flickr CC and OpenClipArt, which is cool. Okay. Back to this. Ease is currently written in a language called Vala. Vala is basically a C preprocessor. It's very styled after C# and sort of Java, but mostly C#. And the problem is that it isn't done. And they just kind of keep changing things. Whether it be the API bindings to GTK, or in Vala 0.10 to 0.12, they changed the way strings are indexed. From character indexing to byte indexing, which is kind of a big deal. The other problem is that the generated C code uses reference counting for memory management, which only sort of works. Because you're in this language that's oh, okay, yeah, this is C#, but it compiles to C and then compiles to native code, you have this feeling that you can just set things to null and they'll just go away, like they would in C# or Java, or yeah, okay. And no, you can't do that. You have to half think in the, yeah, okay, this is garbage collection, fine, I'll send it, it'll get thrown away. You have to think of that, and then you have to think, then you have to think in the C++ manual management of memory model. Yeah. That's why Ease is kind of leaky. And that's why Ease gets nulls all over the place and seg faults. So this is a problem. And oh yeah, this is the result of this. You have two choices of Ease version right now. You can use the one from Git, in which case it will crash when you type text. Or you can use the most recent release, in which case when you click on something, you click 20 pixels below there. That is fixed in the crashy version, though. Yeah, there's lots of leaks in Ease. And when something goes wrong, that's pretty much all you get out of Ease. So there was this one night, and I just had it with Vala, and I decided to port Ease to one of two languages, which were either Python or C#. C# was an obvious choice. One, because it's garbage collected, it's very modern, it's actually very fast, and the porting could probably be done with a regular expression. But there's a few problems there. One, everyone kind of hates it in the Linux community. In case you guys don't know, C# was invented by that one company that some Linux users don't like. And two, the bindings aren't as good, I think. Well, they're good, but it's sketchy. I didn't like it. So I chose Python because I really like Python. Okay, so let's go down the list of the problems. Okay, leaks. That's just kind of fixed. Everything just gets garbage collected. Bad garbage. Crashes. Crashes. Yeah, no more segmentation faults. You get like exception handling. Vala kind of has exception handling occasionally, except when it doesn't. Yeah. You get that, and you get like nice backtraces and stuff. Plugins. Okay, so this is the previous way we were going to do plugins in ease. You have ease, which sort of talks to a plugin. If any of you have an iPad or an iPhone, that's the plugin icon when you try to view a Flash website. So you've got ease, talks to the plugin, and then ease is also talking to seed, which is then talking to WebKit, and the plugin is talking to WebKit and seed, and you have to have your objects both in JavaScript, which is all dynamic and stuff, and then you have them in Vala, which is all static and stuff, and yeah, that's the new way plugins work. You just, well, they don't work, but like that's the way they will work. You just import them, and now they're part of your Python program. Other nice, okay, that was the last nice thing. Besides the fact that it's written in Python and it's like half as long now. So the problem that comes up is that the slow factor. When you take a program from C, basically, slow generated C, but C, Python. And I don't think this is a problem. I'm sure a lot of people would argue against that I should spend lots of time debugging the memory management instead of writing the actual application and adding functionality. I don't think the slow is a problem, because this is where the work is actually done in ease. It's done in all these libraries which are written in C. And I'm not actually doing that much, but patching these libraries together, making them all talk to each other, and stuff like that. So Cairo, for example, is used to render all the PDF, like do PDF rendering, do rendering of shapes. That's pretty much it, I think. Oh, rendering of thumbnails. Yeah. That is something that takes a lot of processing, obviously. Rendering vector graphics. Yeah, that just kind of works. Flutter is running in 30 or 60 frames per second. That just kind of works because it's written in C as a library. GTK is GTK, and there's a few other things. Poplar is the PDF library. That's actually pretty much it, because the other ones I'm going to replace with the ones in the Python standard library, like the XML parser and the JSON parser and stuff like that, are going to get replaced with the Python standard ones. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, I don't really have a demo because there's a third choice in ease versions. You can also choose the one that is about a quarter written. So let's say I'm about a quarter of the way through it. I started with porting like the core stuff, like ease document, ease color, ease slide, all that stuff. Just basically open them up side by side in Vim and just go down the file. So it's not really a rewrite, it's just a straight port. And I can run the files to check for syntax errors, but once it all gets together, it's going to be interesting to see how well it works, or if it does work, like how much debugging there's going to be to make it actually work. Yeah.
How long do you think it'll take to have like a first kind of usable release in the new Python version?
Yeah, that depends on how quickly it gets done. No, because I'm working on some other projects right now. Obviously, the other Python project I'm working on occasionally. Trying to get away from that because I'm leaving. And I'd like someone else to do that. Someone who won't put the database password on GitHub.
I know how JavaScript works.
But yeah, I hope within like a few weeks that it will work. Yeah.
So does this mean it's going to be more portable?
Yeah, sort of. I guess. Well, like, so one of my things with plugins was I wasn't going to allow plugins to be written in a compiled language because documents could depend on plugins, basically, because one of the things a plugin could do is define a custom element in your presentation. And if you didn't have that plugin when you try to open a document, you should be smart and it should go, that plugin should specify a URL where you can download it. It should be able to download it. On, say, OS X or Windows, you could provide a compiled version. because there's like one version to link against. On Linux, that's not really the case. There's like 32, 64, and then there's lots and lots of different versions that you have to link against. So you'd have to provide, you know, Ubuntu 64, Ubuntu 32, Fedora 12, Fedora 13, Fedora 14. So it had to be written in an interpreted language, because obviously I also can't expect users to have a compiler installed. So, I'm sorry, I don't know what the original question was actually.
Oh, is it
Oh yeah,
going to make it more
so,
portable?
Yeah. So that was the issue with plugin portability. So now the whole program is like that. So the only issue is right now with the Python GTK bindings, they're sort of migrating from the old static manual bindings to dynamically generated bindings, which is the only like possible problem. And some people are using the dynamic ones, some people are using the static ones.